Please welcome President of Auth0, Shiv Ramji.
Hello, Oktane. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good? You all had lunch, and this is the best session, so I want to see lots of cheers and energy for all of us. And I hope you're enjoying Oktane so far. Now, we all know that identity isn't just a login box. Today, identity is mission critical. It's how you secure your business. It's how you personalize every digital experience. And most importantly, it's how you earn trust. And now we're entering a new era. One where AI is starting to power products everywhere. From here on, every application you build, whether it's customer-facing or internal, needs to be built with AI in mind. We believe AI will unlock incredible new opportunities, but it also introduces new risks. And as we'll see today, identity will help solve them. Now, in his keynote, Todd shared the big picture on how we're helping you secure AI. In this session, we'll dive deeper in what it takes to build with and for AI, how you can use Auth0 to build AI agents securely, and make your products AI ready from day one. And if there is one thing you take away from this session, let it be this. To get AI right, you have to get identity right. Let me repeat. To get AI right, you have to get identity right. So let's talk about this shift and its impact on builders. Now, we've seen transformational waves before: the internet, the mobile era, and of course, the cloud. Yet this one feels different. The speed is unprecedented. Just consider this. At last Oktane, back in October, 90 million people were using Gemini every month. Now, just a year later, that number has exploded to 450 million. That's a 5x increase in just 1 year. And increasingly, users are incorporating AI into their daily lives. Our latest Customer Identity Trends report reveals that 37% of your users are utilizing Gen AI every day. And if you zoom out even further, the market for AI agents is projected to surpass $236 billion by 2034. That's a huge market growing rapidly right in front of us. And here's the thing. Developers and leaders like you are at the center of it. You're building the foundations of this new market. And those foundations must be secure. To put a finer point, here are real quotes from articles just from the last few months. AI is transforming medicine, retail, banking, and finance. And it will soon become a fundamental part of how all businesses operate. And right now, in this room, there are builders creating agents that can do things like free doctors to focus on treatment by handling admin work, recommend products, and even complete purchases for us, and reshaping banking operations, helping advisors deliver insights, guiding employees through policies, and managing everyday transactions. And just like in the last example on banking, we are hearing from more and more of you that you're also building these internal AI applications with agents to help your teams work faster. So whether it's a chatbot to speed up employee onboarding or an agent to review code, you're building these apps because you need employees to do more faster. And in doing so, you still need to control who can access what data and how. These AI agents and tools for your teams drive productivity, but they also have to be secured, just as we do with B2B and B2C applications. But the news has made one thing clear. When AI isn't secured, the risks are real. And we've all heard of customer records being leaked, employees being tricked into exposing data, and infrastructure left vulnerable. The big lesson for here is this: security can't be an afterthought even when you need to move fast. And at the heart of it is identity. And building identity is hard. You have to secure users, you have to secure applications and APIs without adding friction or slowing things down. And with AI, that complexity isn't just growing, it's compounding. Because every new agent doesn't just stand alone. It interacts with users, applications, and with APIs you've already secured. Each one multiplies the challenge. So think about it. Who can access these agents? What apps can agents connect to? And what happens if they make a mistake? These aren't hypothetical questions. They are questions of trust and of identity. And that's where Auth0 comes in. We've always helped builders manage human identities. Now, we do the same for AI agents, so you can stay secure and keep building what's next. Now, let's talk about what building in the AI era really means. Every builder now faces two new mandates. First, bring AI into your products, and not just as a feature, but as new experiences with agents, internal copilots, and smarter workflows. Second, make your products AI ready. They need to be ready for other agents and systems to interact with them securely. Now, this is a massive shift in how we architect systems. Identity can't be bolted on after the fact. Agents need to be secure by design. And securing agents with identity is fundamentally different from securing traditional apps. And there are two big differences. First, AI agents are unpredictable. They accept open-ended input and are not deterministic. Summarizing public data, well, the risk might be low. But handling sensitive data or taking actions on their own, the risk increases significantly. Second, the old three-tier architecture model doesn't hold. AI is reshaping your stack. Agents become the presentation layer. Your APIs and sometimes your data become exposed surfaces. Now look, this is risky when dealing with your own agents. It's way worse when you expose your products to third-party agents. Now you put these two things together and you have a new set of serious risks to tackle. Every API call and every permission check must be secured. And identity is how you can do that. Now here's the challenge: moving fast while staying secure. We've been working with leaders who are facing it head-on. And to share how they're approaching AI and why securing it matters, please welcome Zillow's Senior Vice President of Engineering and Technology, Toby Roberts.
Hey, Shiv.
Welcome, Toby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the invite.
Of course. How's Vegas? Are you having fun?
It's great.
Yeah?
Hearing about all the innovation that's happening in the room, pretty exciting.
Amazing. Well, thank you. All right, I'll open with an easy question first. So, we've seen AI is quickly becoming both a user and a builder. So how do you see identity evolving to secure not only human users, but also AI agents who kind of act on our behalf?
Yeah, at Zillow, our mission is to make home a reality for more and more people. So if you're a first-time renter, you're navigating the complexities and the scariness of buying that first home, or whether you're selling and you're moving across the country or just around the corner, basically. So in all of those scenarios, we see that AI can provide huge leaps forward in making that just an easier and more customer-friendly and easier experience. On the B2B side, we feel like we can deliver, on the B2B side, we're serving agents, like real estate agents, right? I know we're talking about agents a lot here, so I should probably, be clear on which ones I'm talking about. But for real estate agents, we can deliver new AI solutions as they're out there hustling day in and day out to how do they understand the leads that are coming in, how do they better understand the market, how do they get insights about their customers and better serve their customers. So, but as we both know, in order for us to live up to our mission, all of this is based in a foundation and rooted in the fact that we must have identity at its core. So we must understand who our customers are, who those real estate agents are, in order for us to fulfill that mission and vision.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to switch to balancing innovation and trust. So earlier this morning, Todd talked about the pressure.
Right.
I think there are so many customers here probably who feel the same pressure. But I'm curious, you probably have some of this pressure internally. So how do you think about
right?
balancing?
All of us.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
us. How do you balance, as a product and engineering leader, how do you balance the need to move fast, innovate, but also kind of make sure you're protecting customer trust?
Yeah, so internally, we are heavily leaning into understanding these new technologies. They're innovating all the time. New generative capabilities are coming out all the time. How do we lean into that? How do we adopt those, understand them as quickly as possible, embrace them for even for our team member productivity capabilities internally? So in that light, we are kind of very much leaning forward and leaning into those. But when we're delivering solutions for our customers, for real estate agents, for people buying and selling their homes, security isn't an option for us. So if you think about the transactions that Zillow handles, they are long-running, multi-party financial transactions. So at its core, we must have identity and security.
And they're very expensive transactions too.
Yeah, I mean, many of them will be the most expensive financial transaction someone will make in their lifetime.
Amazing.
And it's hugely stressful, and they trust us with that information, and we must make sure that we're very much keeping that core to our principles.
Awesome. Well, we have a lot of technologists in the room, and I get this question all the time, what do you think about the future of AI? So I'm curious to get your take on, let's just maybe look ahead. 3 to 5 years, 5 years may be too much, but 3 years out.
Oh my gosh.
How do you envision customer experiences changing? And do you see identity being more tightly coupled with AI, loosely coupled? How do you think, and what advice do you have for leaders? How to prepare for this future?
I was going to say 5 years, this rate of change that we're seeing right now seems tough. Yeah. But I would say, so we've been investing in AI for 20 or so years, about 2 decades. We've had kind of teams dedicated on that. So we've recently delivered, virtual 3D tours or virtual flyovers using AI technology. We've leaned into this quite a bit.
Too, right? The estimation tool?
Zestimate has been our long-running ML model that's been in continuous evolutions for about 20 years now. Yeah. And so in terms of how I see in the future, right now, agents are still a little bit in their infancy, right? And we're starting to see the proliferation of AI agents. Sorry, I need to be clear again. AI agents, there's a lot of retrieval of information, summarization of information as well. I really believe, and we anticipate that those agents will start acting on our behalf. And so if we go back to kind of what we're talking about here, if I am trusting an agent to work asynchronously on my behalf in terms of some in our case, financial transaction or searching for my next home, whatever that happens to be, I need to be fully aware of what that agent is doing, fully transparent, and then I have to be certain of the security that's embedded within that agent as well.
Yep. Now, it's clearly AI is impacting your industry, but I think when we look at other industry, it seems like it's going to impact everyone in some way, shape, or form. So, but it's not all negative. It's a competitive advantage for companies and industries. So, I'm curious, how do you think of how identity and maybe systems and platforms like Auth0, what role do they play in kind of giving you a competitive edge?
I mean, it's been a great partnership with Auth0 for us on our journey, and it's really a big unlock for us in order to fulfill our mission. So Auth0 delivering on its core competency of identity, authentication, fine-grained authorization. If you kind of play out our use cases where you have multi-parties in there, we really need that level of granularity to deliver on our promise. By Auth0 delivering on that, that allows me and my team and Zillow overall to really focus on how do we deliver for our customers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Toby. You've been an amazing customer and partner, and thank you so much for sharing your insights with the audience.
Good seeing you
so much.
Thanks.
Can't wait to see your innovations. Thank you, Toby. Great insights on how AI is changing the way we build and deliver experiences. Now, to build AI, you need identity that's easy to integrate, flexible, and secure by design. And that's Auth0. It's who we've been from day one. We've made it easy to help secure identity in web and mobile applications, and now we're doing it again for AI. Because to get AI right, we have to get identity right. So how does Auth0 make this real? To walk you through it, please welcome Auth0 Chief Product Officer, Gareth Davis. Gareth?
Nicely done. Thanks, Shiv. Last Oktane, we shared a bold new vision, bringing Auth0 into your AI agents and apps. This April, we launched our developer preview of Auth0 for AI agents, giving you the tools to build AI agents and apps that can authenticate users and connect with their data securely. So today, I am so excited to announce that Auth0 for AI agents will be generally available next month. Okay. Whether it's B2C, B2B, or internal apps, Auth0 helps you build securely. And because AI will be part of most every app, many of these features will be included in Auth0 enterprise plans at no additional cost. We're excited to be on this journey with you, helping you secure your AI agents so you can focus on building. Now, the best way to understand all of this is to see it in action. Let's walk through it. So to bring this to life, let's look at a fictional company we'll call Agent RFP. They use AI agents to automate RFP responses, helping their customers respond faster and win more deals. Let's see how Agent RFP works and where the risks show up along the way. Okay, so throughout this process, this agent has a lot to do. It needs to access sensitive documents, plug into systems, and even collaborate with people. First, it acts on behalf of a user. Let's call her Claire. She's an account exec. Claire should always authenticate through her company's identity provider. Now, this is important because if this step isn't done right, anyone could spin up an agent or slip in where they don't belong. From there, the agent connects to apps like Claire's CRM to pull RFPs, and the internal wikis to find answers, all on Claire's behalf. Now, if access isn't scoped correctly, the agent could see and leak data that Claire should never have access to. Now, to answer the RFP, the agent pulls from a database of past RFPs in addition to the wiki. Now, the risk here, it is big. Without the right controls, the agent could expose sensitive information. And finally, secure human-in-the-loop interactions. Now, Claire's not going to wait around for the AI agent to finish, so the agent needs a secure and auditable way to request things on her behalf and get her approval, all with a clear trail of who did what, when, and why. Automating RFPs with AI is powerful, but every integration introduces risk if it's not done right. So, how do we secure AI agents? Well, after hundreds of conversations with developers and leaders, we've boiled it down to 4 requirements: user authentication, secure API access, auditable async interactions, and granular data access. Now, if you're a builder, these requirements should sound familiar. Each of these requirements maps to the features of Auth0 for AI agents that we're about to show you. So to break this down, we'll start with how developers set this up in Auth0, and then we'll look at the end user experience at one of Agent RFP's enterprise customers, Gray Systems. So to start off, the agent needs to authenticate the user, making sure it's acting on behalf of the right person. And for Agent RFP, that means having users like Claire log in. Now, to avoid back and forth with the enterprise customer, that setup needs to be self-service. And the answer here is the same as other enterprise apps today: SSO and SCIM. Agent RFP creates a self-service profile inside the Auth0 dashboard, so each customer's IT team can connect their identity provider and assign users. No tickets required. Here, for builders, the takeaway is simple. You can use the same identity principles you already know to secure your AI agents. Auth0 makes it easy. Which brings us to the next requirement: secure API access. Now, this is where Token Vault comes in. Here, agents must only connect to the apps and the resources that they're allowed to, and only with the minimum permissions needed. In the case of Agent RFP, we'll create an agent in the Auth0 dashboard. Then we'll configure 2 applications it can connect to, and we'll ensure it has the appropriate permissions. First, the internal wiki, and then we'll do the same for the CRM. Now, we toggle the Agent RFP API on, and we've connected the apps and the APIs successfully. Now, Token Vault did all of this for us behind the scenes. Developers define exactly which permissions the agent can request and what actions it can take. Tokens are permissioned, time-bound, and tied to the user, avoiding persistent, long-lived access through admin-like API keys. And for builders, setup only takes a few clicks. No managing API keys, no reinventing permission models. Now let's move on to the third requirement: bringing humans in the loop when agents need approval. Here, we need async auth. And async auth, it is critical. Agents need a safe way to pause and to bring humans in the loop for approvals. So to set this up, we set up the async auth permissions by selecting the email option. For Agent RFP, that means asking Claire for approval to share an RFP with an expert so that they can help answer questions. Async auth makes this possible. Every approval is tracked, leaving a clear record of who did what, when, and why. For builders, this is especially useful when building agents without UIs. It makes human-in-the-loop setup simple and allows for full audit trails and accountability across every action. OK, finally, let's look at the last requirement: controlling data access. For this, we use FGA for RAG. Now, agents should only retrieve and consume data that a user is authorized to see. In this case, that means letting other users collaborate on an RFP. And for Claire, she can give other users access to an RFP that she owns. But RFPs often contain sensitive, confidential data. So access needs to be fine-grained, per user, per RFP. And the great news is that Auth0 fine-grained authorization makes this easy. Developers define exactly who can do what using code. Instead of broad roles, controls are granular and flexible. That way, when Claire's agent pulls data to reply to an RFP question, it only retrieves answers from RFPs that she's allowed to see. And as a builder, that means you get scalable, easy to implement, fine-grained authorization. And critically, the confidence that sensitive data won't leak to the wrong person or agent. So there we have it. In just a few steps, Agent RFP configured Auth0 and FGA for their use case. Now, let's switch gears and see what this looks like day to day for the end user, Claire. Now, to walk you through it, please welcome to the stage Auth0 Chief Technology Officer, Bhavna Singh.
Practice that or not. Thank you, Garrett. Are we excited here? Of course, we are building AI agents. What can be anything less exciting? This is the most exciting thing you are, and you're at the right keynote. So let's kick this off. Garrett kicked us off with walking us through the experience of someone building an AI agent or AI application. To walk you through the end user experience of Auth0 for AI agents, I'd like you to meet Agent RFP's newest enterprise customer, Gray Systems. The Gray Systems IT team starts by configuring connections to their CRM and internal wiki. Then they set up a SSO and SCIM with their identity provider in the Agent RFP dashboard. IT controls who gets in, and users get the right access instantly. And as mentioned before, it's all self-serve. This gives enterprise customers a streamlined setup experience without support headaches. Later that day, Claire, our Gray Systems account executive, gets her invite to start using the product. Claire already has the right access thanks to SCIM, which was set up earlier. So now, when Claire uses single sign-on to log in into the Agent RFP, she can get straight to work. With user auth, the end user, Claire, is securely authenticated. Now, to operate autonomously, the Agent RFP needs to connect to Gray Systems' CRM and internal wiki. So we need to make that happen too. Claire first sees the request to connect to the CRM. Since Agent RFP has configured it in Auth0, she gives her consent and follows the same steps for the internal wiki next. In just a few clicks, she consents and gives the agent only the access it needs and nothing more. Behind the scene, the agent uses Token Vault to connect to these applications securely. Next, Claire logs into the CRM, uploads the RFP that needs to be completed with all the relevant information. So when a new RFP shows up, the agent retrieves it with a token scope to Claire's permission. This is important, scope to Claire's permission. Now you can see the agent is drafting the answers by checking the first source, the internal wiki. Again, here, the agent made this connection to the internal wiki securely. With Token Vault, if there's ever a security issue, the blast radius is limited. For builders, this brings peace of mind because the agent can only access what Claire's access allows, and only for the lifespan of that token. So you are controlling the duration as well. The other source it checks is a database of past RFPs. Here, the Agent RFP is using RAG to search for related past response from and feed them to the agent's LLM to draft that reply. Now, it is important to note here that the knowledge base of past RFPs contains sensitive information, pricing terms, confidential customer data. So the agent here should not pull the data from RFPs that Claire does not have access to. If you remember, we built Agent RFP using Auth0's fine-grained authorization to enforce control at the RFP level. So when the agent searches for answers, FGA helps ensure it only retrieves them from RFPs Claire is authorized to use. Here, the benefit to customers like Gray Systems is obvious. Every answer the agent drafts is relevant, of course, and based on data only the respective employee has access to. This solution works in the scenario of employee collaboration as well. For example, after Agent RFP has filled in most of the RFP information or responses, it still needs input from Claire's colleague, Tom, Gray Systems VP of Infrastructure. This is where async authorization capability comes in handy. The agent sends Claire a request to share the RFP with Tom. She approves and authenticates on the spot. The agent then receives a token scope to Claire and uses it to call the Agent RFP API, securely sharing the RFP with Tom. Next, as you can see, agent sends Tom an email requesting his input. Tom then adds his response, and Agent RFP completes the RFP. The result, work gets done faster, securely, and of course, collaboratively. With async auth, humans stay in the loop to consent to agent requests with a full audit trail. As we went through the full real-world scenario, you now see the power of securing AI agents with Auth0. The demo shows what's possible when built using the right technology. Great user experience, strong security, and real business impact. But there is another challenge that still remains. How do you get the applications AI ready? We just saw how Agent RFP builds products with AI. Having one AI product, such as Agent RFP, to interact with other internal and third-party agents is a challenge we still need to solve. Enter MCP, the Model Context Protocol. First introduced by Anthropic, MCP has quickly become the leading open standard for giving LLMs access to context, tools, and systems they need. Today's AI-powered applications are intended to make decisions, generate content, and take independent actions. To do all that, context is key. And these applications must understand what you're asking them to do and what information they should use to make those decisions. Before MCP, there was a big challenge with LLMs accessing external data or tools or services. Think about pulling external customer data from CRM or running a query on a data warehouse. Before MCP, there was not a secure or standard way for an AI application to reach out to these systems. With MCP, we have a simple, efficient, and standardized way to connect external systems and pass information to LLMs so they can make better decisions. Without it, these external integrations can very quickly become very complex. But using MCP in your AI-driven application is step one. And using secure MCP in your AI-driven application is step also one, right? You're at Oktane. Starting with security is absolute must here, and that's what we are talking about here, right? So let's break down MCP's two main components very quickly. First, the MCP client, which is typically the interface that interacts with the LLM, such as an agent or chatbot. And second, the MCP server, which provides tools and prompts and resources as context that we talked about to the MCP client. Since these MCP servers are APIs, the security problem looks familiar. we need to authenticate and authorize requests invoking these APIs. As MCP clients call these actions on data or resources beyond what's permitted. So, and these are not hypothetical risks as we talk about, because as these MCP clients are calling servers and data that is really key content that you're holding on to. So as we have been working to drive this effort, we have been working with customers and partners to bring identity controls to MCP service, both for internal and external use cases. We have also partnered with MCP community as one of the leading voices shaping these standards. And when we talk about these risks, these are not hypothetical risks. You saw in Shiv's conversation, he already shared with us the reports about leaked and deleted data. So we are excited to announce Auth for MCP. That's right. Auth for MCP will help secure MCP server APIs. We've applied the same Auth0 principles of secure, seamless user experience now for MCP service. Think your applications, your customers, your internal chatbots, or approved integrations with partner tools. As MCP becomes the go-to protocol for companies to make their products and internal applications available for AI, Auth for MCP is how we strengthen this AI ecosystem to build trusted, secure integrations. And there's one more trend we are seeing with AI. To do their jobs, agents need to connect to many applications and data sources. We are already seeing agents calling APIs, talking to MCP servers, and even working together with other agents. But in a world crowded with agents, two big problems emerge. Number one, security risk grows. As agents start connecting to other applications and data, every new approval adds risk. One wrong approval, or even losing track of approvals already granted, can open the door to security risks. And number two, user experience breaks down. With agents constantly asking for approvals, users face consent fatigue, endless prompts to let one agent to talk to another or access yet another application. In fact, in the agent RFP demo, you saw a few of these consent screens when integrating with the internal wiki and CRM. And if we look at the problem from use case perspective, if you're building agents, you want seamless access to users' data without overwhelming them with endless approvals and consent screens. If you're building B2B products, the easier it is for other applications and agents to connect to your application securely, the more valuable your product becomes. And finally, if you're in security, you want visibility and control. You want to know and control which application and agents have access to which systems and what they can do. Three perspectives, all with shared goals. You make access simple for users, valuable for builders, and secure for enterprises. So we set out to solve this challenge. Cross-app access. The open protocol behind cross-app access is an extension to OAuth. As Todd called out today in his keynote, cross-app access transforms how applications and agents request access to data in an enterprise, avoiding the need for end-user consent and enforcing access in the identity provider. So if you're building B2B products or internal applications with Auth0, cross-app access will be available out of the box. Let's look at what this enables through the example we've been discussing. Gray Systems. A customer of Agent RFP wants to allow Agent RFP to access its internal wiki and CRM data on behalf of its employees. This is where cross-app access comes in. Enterprises like Gray Systems use their enterprise IDP, like Okta, to configure exactly which application or agents can connect to each other. In our earlier example, the Gray Systems IT team would simply allow Agent RFP to connect to both CRM and the internal wiki via cross-app access. And the result, for IT team, visibility and control. For applications and agents, easy, secure connections. And for users like Claire, no more consent fatigue, just smooth, secure application access. Let's see how this works behind the scene. When Agent RFP needs a token to call the CRM API on Claire's behalf, it uses cross-app access to request sort of a ticket from Okta, which can enforce its policies. That ticket can then be exchanged directly with the CRM for an access token. That's it. No repeated consents, no incorrect permissions granted. Claire does not lift a finger. Agent RFP gets the access needed without involving Claire. And at the same time, Gray Systems' workforce policies in Okta are fully enforced. Pretty neat, huh? We can't wait to see how you adopt cross-app access and the benefits these capabilities unlock for your users, your applications, your partners, and of course, your business. To close us out, let's invite Shiv back on stage.
All right, thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Gareth. Before we wrap, I want to double-click on a key point when building secure AI. In Todd's keynote, we talked about the importance of creating an identity security fabric in the AI age. That means taking a unified approach to securing every identity, human or AI, across all use cases and resources. By introducing cross-app access, it's more than a feature for us. It's part of our push to ensure every app and every AI agent is built standards first, so your agents can be fabric ready. By building with Auth0, you get fabric ready applications and AI agents from day one, whether they are B2B, B2C, or even internal applications. With a platform that's easy to integrate, flexible for your needs, and secure by design. Now, we're not just ready for what's next, we're giving you the fundamental building blocks to build it all securely. Auth0 for AI agents, Auth for MCP, and cross-app access are the next evolution of our promise to you. They are the core of how you will build the next generation of B2B, B2C, and internal applications. Now, I opened with developers being tasked with 2 new mandates. Auth0 helps you meet both of those. We help you bring AI into your products, and we help make your products AI ready. To close things out, I want to say to everyone in this room who is shaping the future of AI, to get AI right, you have to get identity right. And at Auth0 is here to make sure you can move fast, innovate boldly, and do it all securely. Please don't miss the Auth0 roadmap session where we will go deeper into everything we've talked about today. Thank you so much for your time, and let's go build the future of AI together. Please enjoy the rest of Oktane.